The most important investment you can make is in yourself. It takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. If you think about that, you'll do things differently. Someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. Risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. Price is what you pay. Value is what you get. It's better to hang out with people better than you. Pick out associates whose behavior is better than yours, and you'll drift in that direction. In the world of business, the people who are most successful are those who are doing what they love. It's not about being the smartest person in the room. It's about being the one who works the hardest. You only have to do a very few things right in your life, so long as you don't do too many things wrong. I don't look to jump over 7-foot bars. I look around for 1-foot bars that I can step over. Chains of habit are too light to be felt until they are too heavy to be broken. The difference between successful people and very successful people is that very successful people say no to almost everything. Our favorite holding period is forever. If you're in the luckiest 1% of humanity, you owe it to the rest of humanity to think about the other 99%. It's far better to buy a wonderful company at a fair price than a fair company at a wonderful price. Diversification is a protection against ignorance. It makes very little sense for those who know what they're doing. In the business world, the rearview mirror is always clearer than the windshield. When investing, always remember that you are buying a piece of a business. It's better to be approximately right than precisely wrong. The stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. You can't make a good deal with a bad person. The most important thing to do if you find yourself in a hole is to stop digging. Predicting rain doesn't count. Building arcs does. The best thing I did was to choose the right heroes. It's not necessary to do extraordinary things to get extraordinary results. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. Risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. Never invest in a business you cannot understand. Time is the friend of the wonderful company, the enemy of the mediocre. It's only when the tide goes out that you learn who's been swimming naked. If past history was all that is needed to play the game of money, the richest people would be librarians. If you don't love what you do, you won't do it with much conviction or passion. The stock market is designed to transfer money from the active to the patient. You can't build a reputation on what you are going to do. Rule no. 1. Never lose money. Rule no. 2. Never forget rule no 1. I always knew I was going to be rich. I don't think I ever doubted it for a minute. The best investment you can make is in your own abilities. Anything you can do to develop your own abilities or business is likely to be more productive. The most important quality for an investor is temperament, not intellect. You need a temperament that neither derives great pleasure from being with the crowd or against the crowd. It's better to be respected than to be liked. If you aren't willing to own a stock for 10 years, don't even think about owning it for 10 minutes. Never count on making a good sale. Have the purchase price be so attractive that even a mediocre sale gives good results. You should invest in a business that even a fool can run, because someday a fool will. The difference between a successful person and others is not a lack of strength, not a lack of knowledge, but rather a lack of will. The most important thing in business is honesty, integrity, hard work, family, never forgetting where we came from, and treating people with respect. You know, if you're in the investment business, you have to have a belief in a better tomorrow. I never attempt to make money on the stock market. I buy on the assumption that they could close the market the next day and not reopen it for 5 years. The best thing about investing in yourself is that it will never go bankrupt. The investor of today does not profit from yesterday's growth. The only way to get love is to be lovable. It's very irritating if you have a lot of money. You'd like to think you could write a check. I'll buy $1 million worth of love. But it doesn't work that way. The more you give love away, the more you get. The most important thing in terms of your circle of competence is not how large the area of it is, but how well you've defined the perimeter. The key to investing is not assessing how much an industry is going to affect society or how much it will grow, but rather determining the competitive advantage of any given company and, above all, the durability of that advantage. We don't have to be smarter than the rest. We have to be more disciplined than the rest. Only buy something that you'd be perfectly happy to hold if the market shut down for 10 years. It is not necessary to do extraordinary things to get extraordinary results. It's not about the money. It's about the people you have, how you're led, and how much you get it. I never have stopped trying to get better, nor should you. The biggest mistake investors make is to believe that what happened in the recent past is likely to persist. You do things when the opportunities come along. I've had periods in my life when I've had a bundle of ideas come along, and I've had long dry spells. If I get an idea next week, I'll do something. If not, I won't do a damn thing. We simply attempt to be fearful when others are greedy and to be greedy only when others are fearful. When we own portions of outstanding businesses with outstanding managements, our favorite holding period is forever. Investing is not a game where the guy with the 160 IQ beats the guy with the 130 IQ. Rationality is essential.